Not all low back pain is joint related. A common cause of low back pain is actually muscular in nature, and it involves the glute medius muscle. Now, the glute medius is a thin, flat, fan-shaped muscle that actually originates on the outer surface of the ilium across a kind of a broad range across this area right through here. There's a tendon attachment. And then it, like a fan, it narrows down, and then it has an insertion on the outside of the femur on an area called the greater trochanter. And when this muscle is activated, its primary function is to abduct the leg away from the body, just like that. It abducts the leg away from the body. As a result of that type of motion, it's also very important in stabilizing the pelvis. And so, for example, if I want to stand on my left leg and I raise my right leg off the floor, my glute medius is what's actually keeping my pelvis on the left nice and solid and steady. If my glute medius was not there, or if it was very weak, my pelvis would give way when I try to stand up on one leg. Now, unfortunately, the glute medius on a lot of people is very, very weak. Now, I did a previous video not too long ago. I'm going to put the link up above me. It was on glute medius exercises. Check it out after this video because it's an important video to learn how to strengthen the glute medius. But suffice to say, a lot of people have very weak glute medius muscles, which lead to reoccurring injuries during the day, whether they're working out or they're just climbing a set of steps or whatever. It leads to repetitive injuries to the glute medius. When muscles get injured over and over and over again, they undergo all that micro trauma, which leads to a lot of fascial adhesion formation. And then when muscles form a lot of fascial adhesions, they lose the elasticity. The muscle doesn't stretch, it starts tugging on its tendons. And in the case of the glute medius, we're talking about tendons up in this part of the pelvis. So on my body, it would be right about here. And if this is getting all inflamed and all irritated, it's going to create what's going to feel like basically low back pain. It's going to radiate across, and it'll come across the back. And usually it's a dull, achy pain, usually on one side or the other. And a lot of times it's mistaken for a sacroiliac joint dysfunction. Your sacroiliac joint is right here between the pelvis and the sacrum. There's a joint on each side here and here. And the glute medius is here. And because it creates this radiating pain, a lot of patients come in to me with this ongoing, what they think is a sacroiliac dysfunction. They've been to the doctors, that's what they've been told. And it turns out it's a muscular glute medius issue. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you, if you're dealing with a glute medius problem, I'm going to show you some excellent fascial release techniques and stretches that's going to fix this right up. And I'm going to also show you how to differentiate in case you're not sure whether it's your SI joint or your glute medius. So let's get right to it. So an easy way to differentiate, is this a sacroiliac joint issue? Is my glute medius injured? Is just do some simple palpation. If right along here is what's called the iliac crest. You can feel the top of your iliac crest. If you start running your thumb in here, you can feel the top of that pelvic bone. And if you follow it back, you're going to feel the bony protuberance on each side of your sacrum. It's pretty prominent. And once you feel that, if you put your thumb on it, if you roll your thumb towards the midline, towards your sacrum, so if I'm on that bony prominence and I roll towards my sacrum, you can kind of get your thumb kind of jammed in there onto your sacroiliac joint. Usually if you're having some issues with your sacroiliac joint, like a sacroiliac joint dysfunction where the joint is out of position, it's not moving correctly, when you put your thumb in there, it's going to be pretty sore. Now if you find that bony prominence once again, and you go to the outside along the edge of that iliac crest, and you roll your thumb along that way, and you get into this area more on the above the hip, along the side here, and you're palpating. If it's the glute medius and you start putting your thumb in there, you're going to know it. It's going to be very sore and very tender to the touch. And that's the best way to differentiate, simple way to differentiate between your sacroiliac joint and your glute medius. If that glute medius is tender, then you want to watch the rest of this video. Okay, so we're going to get started with some fascial release work on the glute medius. Now, I've mentioned this in the past. We don't do fascial release work on cold, stiff muscles. This isn't something you do first thing out of bed in the morning. You got to warm up the muscle. Get on your treadmill for 10 minutes. Go take a walk. Do some jumping jack. get some blood flowing into the muscle. Doing fascial release work on a cold, stiff muscle is just a surefire way to have a lot of soreness after you get done with it. You got to warm it up. You got to get the blood flow. Fascial release work can make the area tender anyways, but if you work on it when it's cold, it makes it even more tender. So warm up the muscle good. Expect some soreness the next day. That's why usually when I'm doing fascial release work, I take the following day off. So if I really work the muscle hard and I really dig at it, it's going to be sore the next day. I might have a couple black and blues on the area. It depends, everyone's a little different as far as how sensitive their skin is. And I'll do the work on one day. The following day is a day to heal. Let the tissue recover. Let it heal and form some good elastic tissue back. And then on the following day, you can work it again. So I would go every other day if you do some good deep fascial release work. Every day that you do that, take the following day off. All we're going to need is I have a strap here. I'm going to be using it on my foot in a second, on my leg in a second to help guide my leg around. I'll show you that in a second. And the other thing I have is a OcraMed Health Tai Chi Max ball. These things are awesome. The spikes on this ball are going to get deep into the muscle fibers, deep into the fascia. You can start off, if you've never done fascial release work before, with a tennis ball or a nice smooth lacrosse ball. You'll get some blood flow, but you're basically taking a smooth surface along the smooth surface of the muscles, and you're just going to be gliding over it. This thing is going to dig in. Is it fun to use? No, it's not. It's uncomfortable a lot of times, but you know what? It works awesome. And what you do with it is you just gauge your pressure. The first day you're doing it, you don't put all your body weight into it and try to do everything in one day. Fascial adhesions break down like peeling layers off of an onion. So you don't have to go too gung-ho on the first day. Nice and easy. So to gauge your pressure on this ball, we're going to start by just doing some basic rolling and mashing on the glute medius. So I'm going to find that sacroiliac joint again where my sacrum is. I'm going to find that bony prominence back here, and then I'm going to go off to the side of that along that ilium. Now, if you go up too high, you go above the iliac crest, and you're going to be back on some soft tissue here. So we don't want to be up that high. We want to be right along the ilium, right along the bony part of the pelvis. And I'm going to stop at just getting the ball right at the beginning of the glute medius up near along the ilium. Couple technique secrets here. If I stay up on my elbow, I'm going to put less body weight on the ball. If I lie back like this, more body weight on the ball. So you know what? If you're new at this, get up on the elbow like this and gauge your pressure a little bit. I'll demonstrate in this position, but when you want to add more body weight, just lie flat. So I get the ball right off to the side of the SI joint. I'm on the glute medius, I'm along the ilium, and in this position, I'm just going to spend about 30 seconds just kind of rolling and mashing. I'm going to go side to side, up and down, diagonal. I'm going to go in all sorts of different directions and let those spikes do their job. Let them dig into the tissue. After about 30 seconds, I'll come back this way. I'll move the ball just about a half an inch, just a little tiny bit, and I'll roll back on it again. And again, I'm going to spend about 30 seconds, all different directions, trying to get that ball in there as deep as I can. It doesn't really matter, whatever's comfortable here. I have my leg, I'm working on my right glute medius. I have my leg out like in this position here. Once again, if you want to intensify, you can bring your shoulder down. You can even bring this leg up like that if you want to. But I'm comfortable here, and I feel like I'm doing a good job digging into the glute medius. And again, I may move it another 1 or 2 times. So I may make 3 or 4 movements with the ball where I just go all the way along the ilium, and I spend about 30 seconds just kind of, digging in, mashing that tissue, trying to break up the adhesions, okay? Next, we're going to add some active motion into the area. And once again, on this active motion, I can stay up on my elbow for less pressure onto the ball. I'll demonstrate it this way. Eventually, you may want to get down all the way like this when you do it. It's up to you. But I'm going to put this strap around my foot, just like that. So put it around your foot, and then get that ball back to the starting point, kind of right to the side of that SI joint, on the ilium, on the glute medius. And I'm going to use the band. I'm going to actually, from this position, I'm going to pick my leg, my ankle and my leg right up off the ground, and I'm going to stretch it like that. Now, if you want, you can actually put the belt right on your other knee and use that to kind of hold it if your arm feels tired. But I can actually just put it right on my knee, and I'm going to hold it in that position, in a stretch position, for about 30 seconds. I'm going to hold it. If you want to go a little higher, like I said, if you can use your arm, just curl the leg up and hold it for about 30 seconds and let that glute medius, the ball is trapping the tissue, and now I'm stretching it at the same time. And after 30 seconds, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my knee up. I'm going to bend my knee up like this, and then I'm going to use the strap to kind of pull my ankle up like that position. And again, I'm going to hold that for 30 seconds. And just try to breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. This type of work, it's so important to breathe through it. You don't want to be holding your breath. You don't want to be grimacing. You want to be breathing. And the more you breathe, you just let that ball, you just sink into that ball and let it do its job. You just relax the best you can and breathe. So 30 seconds from this position, then I came in with the knee, and I came in this position for 30 seconds. I'm going to go back, but this time now as I go back, I move the ball half an inch out a little bit, so I get in a little different position on the glute medius, and I'm going to repeat. I'm going to stretch that up. Remember, the glute medius does the opposite action. It actually brings abducts the leg. It brings it this way. So when I'm doing this release, I'm actually adducting it. I'm pulling it towards the midline. And I'm going to hold it. Like I said, you can use your knee if you want to rest it on that, or you can just curl it up as far as you can. 30 seconds, bring the knee up, and then pull this in that way, in this direction, so you kind of rotate it. And I'm going to hold that for 30 seconds. And you're going to repeat that. Like I said, you probably can move the ball along the glute medius 3 or 4 times, and each time you repeat that process, okay? All right, that's the release part. Now we're going to, after we've done that, and we're going to do that part first, we're going to stretch out the glute medius, okay? So, here's how we're going to do it. I want you to cross, I'm doing my right glute medius, I want you to just cross that left leg over and get right on your side like this, and get up on your arm if you can. If you can't, you can go off your elbow. But I want you to get that be right on the side of the leg so that you're in this position like that, and start working that arm up just like that. And I want you to bring the torso up so that you're going to feel this stretch right across that hip, that glute medius, just like that. And try to kind of roll around a little bit, like lean a little bit forward. You can roll back a little bit. And I'm going to hold that for about 60 seconds. That's a good stretch. I'm stretching the glute medius. It's also a good stretch. I'm getting a stretch in the QL and the erectors in my back. And I'm just going to kind of hold it in this position for 60 seconds. I'll take a break for just a few seconds, and then I'll just go right back to it, and I'll do one more time of 60 seconds stretching that glute medius, okay? So follow that stretch, do the fascial release first, and then do that stretch. As soon as you get done with both, get up, move around a little bit. You're gonna feel a nice release on that glute medius, and it's not uncommon. People that have, you've been dealing with this pain in that area, when they get up, it's like the pain is gone almost instantaneously. One last thing I want to go over is, I know there's lots and lots of you out there that have massage guns. So I want to just show you what you can do with your massage gun in regards to the glute medius, okay? So it's actually a great area to use a massage gun on. It's pretty easy to get to. This is the SRI 3.0 from OcraMed Health. This thing's awesome. Best part of this instrument here is that it has a pressure sensor, so if you're pushing too hard, it'll let you know. And also the battery is second to none. It holds an awesome charge. At low settings, that battery can hold a 24-hour charge. So anyways, I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to get it started. And you can just get on your side, and once again, find the bony prominence there on the back of the ilium, right before right where that SI joint, and then come off to the side from that SI joint, so that you're on the ilium, you're on the glute medius muscle. And you can take that massager and just get it right on that ilium, right where the glute medius is, where it fans out, and run along that upper part of the glute medius where it fans out along the ilium. And just nice and slow, gauge your pressure, And spend about 60 seconds just kind of gliding the massager over the glute medius. Just like that. Now, as you're doing that, as you come across it, a good thing to be conscious of is if you come across an area that feels a little sore, a little more of a knot, then I want you to hold that massager for an extra 60 seconds just on the knot. So I'm coming across, say I'm massaging back and forth, and as I come across, I'm like, oh, there's a knot right here. Okay, so I'm going to just now hold that massage gun right on the knot, 60 seconds. Let it do its thing. You're going to feel that knot, a lot of times it just melts away. It's awesome. Just like that. And then once you've done that 60 seconds, just kind of finish up gliding around on there, okay? Now, I have just like a standard, ball massage gun tip on this thing. The SRI 3.0 comes with 8 different heads. So, start with, this is a pretty kind of in-between, kind of moderate attachment you can put in. Once you feel like you're digging around a little bit, you got to get a little deeper. There's some smaller, harder attachments that go in where you can get in deeper. Okay, so start off with something softer and build up to something a little harder and smaller to get in deeper on the tissue. So after you've done that, where you've done some gliding around, you've held some pressure on the knot, then sit up with the massage gun. Once again, I'm going to turn it back on. Okay. And from this position, what I'm going to do is I'm going to once again feel for that glute medius along the side here. I'm going to put the gun on that glute medius. Once again, if you find a knot, go to the knot first. But if not, just get on the glute medius. And then the leg, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it around. I'm going to start from this position. I'm going to bring it over. And I'm going to bring it back. Just like that. I'm going to spend about 30 seconds just bringing it back and forth, just like that. Then I'm going to move it a little bit, maybe half an inch or an inch in a little different position. And again, I'm just going to kind of move the leg back and forth. I'm going to cross it over the other leg and bring it back, just like that. So get a little motion going on it as you use the gun. So of course, it's a little awkward to reach the glute medius by yourself. Of course, if you have someone that can help you out, awesome. If not, it's not impossible to get the gun on the glute medius. And incorporate it with the other soft tissue work. It's a great extra addition or an extra tool to use in your fascial release work. So if you have a massage gun, break it out and get it on that glute medius. All right, so get working those techniques. There's no reason to be suffering with glute medius low back pain. Those techniques work awesome and they work fast. So get working them, okay? Hope you heal really quick.